have you heard?
I know that she's a trans girl.
And what is that? What does it mean, like being a trans girl?
Well, she's
How do you change from a boy to a girl?
go through take medicine and like go through school.
So is that from? Do you have any brothers or? So if they took medicine or hormones, would they be like you? Or there's some differences?
I think there's some differences.
Would your upbringing be different? Would your outlook on life be different? Would it be the same? Or would yours and theirs be different? I mean, that's okay. Do you have any thoughts on that?
And if their upbringing would be different?
Or like if they like how any of your I assume
Never mind, yeah.
how would any of your sons daughter like what would the
Like if they had operation and hormone therapy and all of that?
yeah it's like how would you change that?
So yeah, like at what point would the sex be changed?
Yeah.
I don't technically know how the entire process works, but I'm understanding like through hormone therapy and operation.
At some point, it just
like
kind
that.
of.
I guess I don't know.
Just like a switch flips and you become.
I can't imagine a switch just flipping and you becoming.
You can't imagine that.
No, I mean she dresses like a boy, but she's all girl.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So,
This is a girlhood exhibit, and this
Yeah.
person, there's a boy in the girlhood exhibit.
gotcha.
Yeah, we're just thinking about that and like how that works. It would.
Our government has So we're curious what we had heard about this, and we're curious about what, like, if people actually believe people can change sex. And it seems like, well, so far we talked to two young men over there a little while ago. They didn't think it was possible. I don't know how that would work.
I don't really think that anybody can understand it unless you're actually going through it, but I don't know.
I mean, it's different to be, it's like feel like you don't fit in socially, but I would think that this would be a story of a boy, like a boy who didn't fit in, and who liked mermaids' tails, and, you know, wanted to have long hair and makeup and wear dresses, like that. I think my only thing is, like, I think girls have a different story because we start out different, we end up different, like regardless of what hormones we take or anything like that. So
I think a lot of it has to do with how people grow up, what their perception of male and female is.
yeah, but unrelated from the biology is
Right.
because
they may see, I don't know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, they may see this man as this masculine and not be able to relate to that. So I guess I'm not a male.
Be like,
yeah,
right.
Where that's not necessarily the case.
right,
You know? A lot
yeah,
of males have female characteristics, and that's okay, and vice versa. But it doesn't mean that we need to change.
Right.
We need to be ourselves.
At what age do you think people could undergo like hormones?
I think that would have to be an adult choice. To be honest with you,
Just curious, what age would you think?
Like age cutoff.
I would think we consider 18 an adult. I don't know, you know, who should be able to choose that, but I know that so much goes on during puberty.
Right.
All these crazy emotions, and with somebody who feels naturally fine in themselves, but to have all those things on top of this, like, I think it's just unfair, I guess, to
Yeah.
promote that and to push it and to.
Right. And you need some time to adjust to your new body. You know, like, it takes a while. And right over there's the men aren't king. And bizarrely they say person instead of 17. You see the average age of men are. And so if
I saw
girls
that.
if they're experiencing it like 12 or 13, your evolution hasn't. Your brain is used to 17 or 18.
Right.
So you need some time to like adapt to this like body you're living in. So, what is your sense of jazz being in a girlhood exhibit? Like,
What is my sense of it?
Does it fit in?
I mean, I think it's a current issue, you know, so I think it's something we talk about. So, I mean, I think I'm not real familiar with this exhibit, but I think it's a current issue that needs to be talked about.
In terms of, does it fit in with like the concept of girl? Like what makes somebody a girl versus a boy?
Personal opinion, God created us male and female.
Can you switch?
So, no, that's how God created us. Not that He created us how He intended us to be.
So would this perhaps be better placed in a boyhood exhibit?
In a boyhood exhibit? I almost think it needs an exhibit of its own. But I think it is an issue. I don't know. I think things become a little bit trendy, and so it's an easy out for people who may not have found their niche in life.
Do you think it's clear to people that that's what's going on here, like with the sort of like she, her, etc.? Do you think somebody could be confused about jazz?
I mean, if you just look at the picture, you cannot tell one way or the other, but if you were to read that first sentence there, I think it's such, like right now it's such in the news, transgender stuff is such in the news.
Yeah.
You know, if it was someone who heard the news, I think they would know.
Do you think, generally speaking, if there was like a girlhood exhibit and they just put a boy in and it said like he and him, do you think people would be like, why is this
here? Oh, that's a good question.
What? Like everything else was the same, but they just said he and him.
He and him.
You'd be like, why?
Why is it? Yeah, I didn't think that just because we hear so much about it. I didn't think, oh, it should be here. But I'm not a big feminist, and so I don't, like I said, I think God created us as He intended us to be. And
do you think those are in conflict, being not a big feminist and thinking God created us male and female?
I just don't push like for one gender or the other. Like I'm not like, I need rights, but I haven't been oppressed either, I guess.
But you still, regardless of that, you still think that there's like totally different sexes.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes, I do.
I think we're on the same page.
Yes, I do. So, now, should everybody shoot for their goals and dreams? Yes, but I just don't. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's a touchy
subject.
subject.
About a kid making a mermaid tail. That's what I did.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I thought it was like a fashion designer with the mermaid. Walked up on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you familiar with Jennings?
I do know who she is, yeah. She's
And
a trans girl, right? Trans
yeah. Well, so what does that mean to you, them being in this girlhood exhibit?
I guess it's a new form of womanhood. People who identify as girls or women, I have friends who have children who feel the same way, and it's an adjustment when you've known someone as a boy all your life to suddenly speak to them and refer to them as a girl, but we try to honor that.
Yeah. And what do you think is, in terms of how does one transition from a boy to a girl?
It's my understanding that transitioning means that you take medical steps to transition, hormone treatment, surgery, whatever.
Like at what point in taking, like what amount of hormones or surgery would turn somebody into, like at what point would a man fit into the category with you?
I guess when he felt like a she.
Would you be able to become a man?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Am I able to? I wouldn't want to, but I guess.
You would be able to become a man?
If you mean if I had surgery or took hormones?
Yeah.
I suppose so, but it's not something that would appeal to me.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people it doesn't appeal to. But I mean, like at what age would it be safe for somebody to make this decision? if it leads to their
Well, that's a tricky question because in many cases it's irreversible.
right, yeah,
But I just listened to a podcast about this, and they referred to the dysphoria.
Yeah.
The sadness, the bad feelings that you were trapped in the wrong body.
right.
You know, and I guess if someone feels like that strongly, even as an adolescent, I guess maybe that's the time to.
And you think kids that age are familiar with like the whole, like I remember the Trevor Project from a while ago, like the It Gets Better campaign, because kids that age would feel like their life would be awful forever. And,
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have the information to answer that, but you know, not having had personal experience with it. But the podcast that I listened to said the woman who was the trans woman who was being interviewed said all her life, from her youngest memory, she felt out of place, and the only time that she felt comfortable in her female body was she decided she wanted to give birth, so she got pregnant, and she said while she was pregnant and giving birth and nursing, she loved her female body.
So it was a female to male or a male to
She
female?
never actually transitioned, but she does feel the dysphoria.
dysphoria.
Dysphoria,
Yeah. So that's interesting. So getting to the point where you actually you've been in your body enough to use it to have a baby, and then that might. So would a kid be able to potentially experience that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before they lose the option of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, if they took hormones or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that pragmatic position might limit which, at what age you could do it without like to know what the experience would be like for you in that
Yeah,
context.
I think they need to study that more. Maybe.
Yeah, so more
interview,
research.
Yes, interview and research more to find out, or maybe it's different case by case. It would be a really difficult situation to do
Yeah.
it as a parent. In my case, my friend whose son is transitioning, he's out of college now, so he waited until after college.
And by do you mean a male or a female?
He was genetically born a male, and now he's transitioning to female.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so out of college. And
He had graduated a year or two out of college.
Okay. So
He looks fabulous.
Well, but it's interesting because it's, how, what is I'm curious how somebody does change sex. When does the switch, when does is there an amount of hormones?
Yeah.
Oh.
What is that? Is someone who wants to go back?
Yeah.